Welcome to Mom Talk Thursday. Okay, and thank you all of you who have joined me and who have been with me with all this uh, not working technical issues and what do I say कि चल नहीं रहा बट फर्स्ट टाइम है यार सबके साथ होता है दैट्स व्हाट आई कीप सेइंग कर लो हो जाएगा अपने आप ही बच्चों को भी कहते हैं ना ट्राई करो तभी होगा तो मैं भी ट्राई कर रही हूँ हो रहा है and thank you all of you for joining. Thank you all of you for being so patient. Thank you all of you for being so kind. And with that, let's start today's live. Okay, and I just have to figure out where am I going to see your messages. Here it is, yes. Okay, so for today, do not put your questions on the bottom right question mark wala questions where we generally put it, and the reason is I am not able to see that question mark because I'm not going live from my phone. I'm going live from my laptop, and usme the comment section is somewhere at the bottom. So whatever questions you have, put it in the comment section and I will try to take as many as I can. Okay. Another problem with this setup is I can't read your names, you know. इसके लिए I have got another phone because I wanted to see how do I look and I wanted to read your names and everything. So I have logged myself in from my private account to see your names. I don't feel connected if I don't see your names. Okay, so how have you guys been? Welcome to Mom Talk Thursday, and I have really happy that finally I'm able to get myself on Facebook as well and on Instagram as well. Finally, after a long time, been trying it for such a long time. And so if there are any Facebook users, I really want you to say hi because I have done all this jing jang because of you guys, you know, because so many messages आते रहते थे मैम आप Instagram पे live जाते हो Facebook पे क्यों नहीं जाते हो मैम आप उनको बताते हो हमें क्यों नहीं बताते हो तो देखो आप लोगों के लिए स्पेशली इतना झिंग जैंग करा गया है सो ऑल दोज जो पहली बार आए हैं लाइव पे if you have any questions regarding parenting motherhood please put it on the comment section and I will take it for you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I know as parents finding even 10-15 minutes is very difficult for us, especially we have so many things to do and but आपने choose किया कि आप वो time मेरे साथ spend करें another half an hour 45 minutes whatever is left now but thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's get going. I'm not seeing any questions till now on Facebook or on Instagram, so I am just going to start with my agenda for today. Today I thought I wanted to talk little bit about boundaries. How many of you would like to know more about boundaries? I am confused to make boundaries. Ah, perfect. Who is this? Kush Bhakt. Okay, from Facebook, Kush Bhakt has written, I am confused about boundaries for my 14 years boy. He's on screen. I can't manage his screen time. I am not at home all the time. Okay. I anyways wanted to have a small discussion about boundaries today because I feel boundaries are something that are so misunderstood. We feel bad in setting boundaries. We feel we should not set boundaries for our child because that makes us a bad parent. But that is not true. So before I start, I need a breather because बहुत देर से काम कर रही थी. Tell me what do you think boundary is? What do you think boundary is? What do you think boundary is? आपके हिसाब से boundary क्या होती है? What do you think boundary is? Is it something that you set up? Is it something that जो किसी और को follow करना चाहिए or is it something जो आपको follow करना चाहिए? Limits. Yes, Archana ji has written limits. Limits. But limits on who? And who decides? Let's understand who decides. Boundaries are limits, okay, but on who? On who decides that this is a boundary? Okay, and how do we communicate it to our child? And is it wrong to set boundaries? Now these are the questions that let's take it up in today's live. Okay, so देखो boundaries क्या होती है ना, after a lot of research that I have done, lot of readings that I have done, and lot of things that I have gone through. मैं आपको ऑनेस्टली बोलती हूँ, ओके. बाउंड्री वो चीज होती है जो आप कर सकते हो. इन द सेंस, in the sense, I can set up a boundary for my child. For example, bacha, your screen time is from this time to this time. Do you think a child, after you have set the boundary, after you have negotiated, after you guys have decided only on Saturdays you can watch screen time, you think कि बच्चा आराम से उसको मान जाएगा? एंड यू नो जब आप उसको करने जाएंगे और वो जैसे अगर उसका स्क्रीन टाइम है 10 to 11, योर चाइल्ड इज सो सेल्फ कंट्रोल दैट एट 11 o'clock वो अपने आप टीवी बंद कर देगा. आपको लगता है ऐसे होगा? किनके घर में ऐसा रोज होता है और किनके घर में ऐसा कभी कभी होता है कि बच्चा अपने आप ही टीवी बंद कर दे जब उसका टीवी टाइम खत्म हो गया हो और कोई रोना धोना कुछ नहीं होता है? मैं टीवी टाइम इसलिए ले रही हूँ बिकॉज आई सी लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस coming up regarding screen time as well. Okay, so boundary is something, okay, boundary is something that we set up with the child way in advance. There are two types of boundaries, okay, let me start with that. There are two types of boundaries that we do. Number one is something that I tell my child way in advance. Way in advance मतलब कि बेटा लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट योर स्क्रीन टाइम. बेटा लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट कि आपने जंक फूड बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है, मुझे लग रहा है वी नीड टू कट इट डाउन, सो लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट इट. ओके, नाउ हैविंग सेड दैट, बाउंड्रीज दो तरीके की इसलिए होती है. एक जो हम पहले से डिसाइड करके रखते हैं, दूसरा अगर बच्चा बहुत छोटा है आप क्या उसके साथ डिस्कशन करोगे, right? So you have to do that boundaries with them at that point of time. So I'll take both of them separately. One where I can discuss a boundary with the child and do it with my child, and second where a child is too young, like hitting, screaming वाला जो scene होता है ना, they are like too young to even talk, below the age of 3. Second वो है, ठीक है. So in the meanwhile I request nobody to put comments because I am not reading. I want you to understand these two types of boundaries first and then I'll take the questions from you, ठीक है. नहीं तो आप इतनी मेहनत करके टाइप करके डालोगे और मेरे से पढ़ा भी नहीं जा रहा है वो. So save it for another 10 minutes के बाद शुरू करेंगे, ठीक है, क्वेश्चंस के साथ. सो जो नंबर वन तरीके की बाउंड्री होती है वेयर आई डिस्कस थिंग्स, ओके, दिस हैपेंस विद चिल्ड्रन आफ्टर द एज ऑफ 4, 3.5, 4. ओके, इसमें क्या होता है, यू सेट अ बाउंड्री विद योर चाइल्ड वे इन एडवांस. बाउंड्री सेट करने में किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती, करेक्ट? गिव्स अ थम्स अप इफ एनीवन हैज अ प्रॉब्लम इन सेटिंग बाउंड्रीज, मतलब सेटिंग लिमिट्स, मतलब सेटिंग काइंड ऑफ अ डिसिप्लिन. किसी को प्रॉब्लम होती है बाउंड्री सेट करने में. आई थिंक दैट्स द इजिएस्ट पार्ट ऑफ बाउंड्री सेटिंग, राइट? करेक्ट. सबसे इजी पार्ट होता है कि हमें बाउंड्री सेट करना इजी होता है, लेकिन कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हम एज अ पेरेंट पता है क्या करते हैं, हम इंस्ट्रक्ट ज्यादा करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई विल गिव यू वन एग्जाम्पल कि बच्चा यू कैन ओनली डिसाइड टू हैव टीवी टाइम once a week. Now let that once a week be a decision of your child. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I would prefer my child to have it on a weekend, but if my child says no, I want to have it on a Monday, let him have it on a Monday. So when you are setting a boundary with a child, थोड़ा give and take करना सीखना चाहिए, ठीक है, कि आपकी भी चले उसकी भी चले. बिकॉज देखो हर ह्यूमन को क्या चाहिए होता है, कनेक्शन एंड पावर, राइट? नाउ कनेक्शन तो आप उसके साथ कर रहे हो, लेकिन अगर आप उसको किसी चीज में पावर ही नहीं दे रहे हो, वो उल्टा आप पे पड़ेगा कि यू डोंट लेट मी डू एनीथिंग. एंड that's a feeling a lot of children get, and it is okay for them to get it till a certain age, ठीक है, but they should also get some power. Let me at least decide which day I want. Okay, I've agreed कि I will only do it once a week, but which day my choice, what time my choice. Okay, इतना हम कर सकते हैं बाउंड्री सेटिंग में. Okay, so as a lot of you have given thumbs up, I can see that you guys have no problem setting boundaries. Okay, boundaries have to be something that has to be communicated in advance. This is so important. You cannot just suddenly go and say, "Arey nahi, this is what we decided." No, we never discussed about it. Mama, you never discussed about it. Papa, this is something that you think is a boundary, but ये आपने discuss ही नहीं किया मेरे से. You know. Second thing is, अगर आपने boundary set किया है, then that time let your child do not keep going nagging na. Like for example, I have caught myself sometimes doing this, and I'll be very honest with you. Like Saturday is a day for my child to eat junk food. Like he is allowed to have 4 chocolates or 5 chocolates. I don't say anything because all entire week he will not eat anything, you know, and I know that. So in between क्या हो रहा था ना, as I was not practicing so much, I was not so mindful about things and there was so much happening. I जैसे वो उसने सुबह उठते सारी ही वुड गो हैव अ चॉकलेट, फाइन, आफ्टरनून इज हैविंग अ चॉकलेट, इवनिंग इज हैविंग अ चॉकलेट, तो मैं इसको सुबह से देख रही हूँ कि वो चॉकलेट ही खा रहा है, चॉकलेट ही खा रहा है, चॉकलेट ही खा रहा है. तो ऑटोमेटिकली आई वेंट एंड आई सेड ज्यादा चॉकलेट नहीं होगी तुम्हारे दिन के लिए. बट I instantly reminded myself कि it is his day to have a chocolate. Why should I nag him for that? And why should I taunt him for that? If he has been so self-disciplined not to eat it during the week, then he should deserve it. I should keep my comments to myself, right? तो अगर आपने अपने बच्चे के साथ कोई बाउंड्री सेट करी है एंड दैट चाइल्ड इज ट्राइंग टू फॉलो इट, डोंट नैग इट ऑन द डे इट हैज बीन डिसाइडेड. ओके, अगर उसने टीवी देखने का टाइम डिसाइड करा है, आप मत जाके बोलो ये क्या देख रहे हो, ये क्यों नहीं देख रहे, ये क्या कर रहे हो. ठीक है, व्हाई आई एम एम्फसाइजिंग ऑन दिस इज कि हम लोग बाउंड्री सेट कर देते हैं, वो बाउंड्री के अंदर भी हमें बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होने लग जाती है. बिकॉज आई हैव सीन दैट विद मी एज वेल. बिकॉज डेज दैट आई एम नॉट माइंडफुल एनफ, डेज आई एम गोइंग थ्रू समथिंग, मैं उस पे जाके भी बोलना शुरू कर देती हूँ. एंड स्पेशली विद एल्डर चिल्ड्रन लाइक प्री टीन्स एंड टीन्स, दे आर लाइक व्हाई आर यू इवन नाउ कमेंटिंग ऑन इट, ये तो हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं ना ऑलरेडी. ओके, नाउ सेकेंड, जो सेकेंड पार्ट आता है दैट एवरीबडी डील्स विद इज, एवरीबडी, राइट? क्या कि बाउंड्री तो सेट कर दी, टीवी टाइम ही ले लेते हैं हम, राइट? टीवी टाइम ही ले लेते हैं, सबकी प्रॉब्लम है टीवी टाइम, मुझे पता है, मेरे घर में भी होती है, सबकी है. वो जो इंस्टाग्राम में लोग रील्स बनाते हैं ना कि मेरा बच्चा अपने आप ऐसा मुझे लैप क्या दे देता है, सॉरी रिमोट, जैसे ही 5 बजते हैं मैं बच्चे को दिखाती हूँ, 5 बज गए, बच्चा आता है रिमोट दे देता है. मेरे घर में तो नहीं होता, और होता भी है तो इट्स लाइक अगर महीने में एक बार maximum, that my child is like very nice and he himself switches it off. Okay, so I don't know whose kids does it, but mine doesn't do it, and a lot of other kids don't do it. So you have to go and give a reminder. Okay, now here is the trick, listen to the trick. Okay, if your child is young, okay, if your child is young, it is your duty to go and remind your child. Please do not expect a child below the age of 7 to have so much of self regulation कि वो पढ़ भी लेगा कि 1 घंटा हो गया. they don't have a time का concept, they don't know what it is, उनको आधा घंटा 2 मिनट ही लगते हैं. ठीक है, so it is, so don't put the burden on them to switch it off. Please take it on you. You set up a reminder on your phone, you set up a reminder on Alexa, और you set up a reminder. वो visual reminders आते हैं Amazon पे, हमारे घर में from the time Zoravar is 2 तब से चल रहा है. I just put 20 minutes and टी 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 के बाद 20 minutes बच जाता है and he knows. So just go and buy that reminder from Amazon if you want. It is your responsibility as a parent to do this. Very, very, very important. Please. Okay, it is not your child's responsibility to know कि 20 minutes हो गए, 30 minutes हो गए, 1 hour हो गए. Below the age of 7-8, okay, उनमें उतना वो है ही नहीं. They are जिसे बोलते हैं ना executive functioning, which is a prefrontal cortex, that is how the brain works, where they have so much of जिसे कहते हैं they can restrict themselves from doing something. वो नहीं है अभी उनमें. Let's understand that. So it is my responsibility to go. Now you will say, when I go, ma'am, they will वो रोता है. कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जो बोलेंगे मैम लेकिन जब मैं जाता हूँ ना, या जाती हूँ, मेरा बच्चा फिर रोता है, फिर बोलते हैं 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, एंड वो फिर बंद ही नहीं होता, और फिर बंद होता है उसके बाद भी रोता है. गिव अ थम्स अप जो बच्चे ऐसे करते हैं. And the question that the gentleman asked me from Facebook, your child is 14, I'll come to that also. Right now I just want to take it part by part because हर एक का different होता है. Okay, so I am talking about children between the age of 4 to 7-8 जो अपने आप टीवी नहीं बंद कर पाते हैं. Okay, now tell me कितना ऐसा होता है that you go and you try to switch off the TV and लड़ाई होने लग जाती है. मैं भी करती हूँ, मेरे घर में भी होती है. So होती है ना. चलिए, so इसमें क्या करना है? इसमें पहले तो आई ऑलवेज से देयर इज नथिंग टू फियर व्हेन योर चाइल्ड क्राइज. Your child is meant to push back. Your child is here to push back on things. Your child is here to tell you, no, mama, I will not do it. Their role तो उनका वही है ना यार, और क्या रोल है उनका इस जिंदगी में? If your child is pushing back, it's good. They at least are there. They are trying to stand. So अपनी life में ये चीज समझ लो that the child is here to push back on everything, especially after the age of 4 till teens, and उसके बाद तो बहुत ही ज्यादा. ओके, दे विल पुश बैक ऑन ऑल योर डिसीजन. सो ये टीवी बंद करना तो बहुत ही छोटी सी चीज है. ये वाइनिंग, मम्मा नो आई डोंट वांट टू स्विच इट ऑफ, यू आर द वर्स्ट पेरेंट इन द होल वर्ल्ड, ये भी बहुत नॉर्मल है. सो इसको दिल पे लेना बंद कर दीजिए. ओके, द बेस्ट थिंग इज go 2 minutes prior, tell your child, baba, only 2 minutes are left, I am sitting here, once 2 minutes are over I will switch it off, or once this episode is over I will switch it off, and stay there. If you want the boundary to continue, you stay there, you do not move from there. ठीक है, ये नहीं कि मैं गई फिर मैं वापस आ गई, अरे तुमने बंद नहीं किया, उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. Now listen to this line very carefully. Boundary is not what someone else do. Boundary is something that you do, that you control. इस केस में मैंने बाउंड्री सेट करी है कि उसको इतने बजे से इतने बजे तक टीवी देखना है, बट आई कंट्रोल. इफ ही इज नॉट एबल टू स्विच द टीवी ऑफ, I take the remote and switch it off. I don't have to fight about it. I just have to be firm about it. There is a difference between fighting and firming. Fighting is I go on saying to my child, तुमने ये कर लिया, अरे तुम बंद नहीं करते हो, इतने 2 घंटे से तुम टीवी देख रहे हो, अभी भी तुम्हें चाहिए, तुम रोई जा रहे हो. कोई फायदा नहीं है, ना तुम्हें है ना बच्चे को है, उसने तो रोना ही है. ओके, बेटर इज दैट यू गो, यू पिक अप द क्या बोलते हैं रिमोट, and you give that last 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and when it is over you just switch it off. That's it. Boundary is something that you control. Always remember this. बाउंड्री सेटिंग का मतलब या लिमिट्स का ये मतलब नहीं है कि मैंने लिमिट सेट कर दी है, नाउ यू शुड बी सो गुड दैट you should not disobey it. They are not in a jail or they are not in an army camp. Please understand that. And most importantly, they don't have the capability of doing it. बच्चे हैं वो लोग. They don't have the executive mind to do it right now. Okay, so don't expect them to follow the limits. वो नहीं करेंगे. मैं आपको बोल दूं कि आप इंस्टाग्राम नहीं देख सकते. आपके फोन पे इंस्टाग्राम है, ठीक है, आपके फोन पे इंस्टाग्राम ऐप है, बट आप उसको नहीं खोलोगे. For whole 2 days you will not open Instagram app. I'm telling you that. How many of you will be able to do it? Not even opening it one time. सामने Instagram app पे दिख रहा है, but I will not open it. As an adult, it is so difficult for us as well to have that self-control. So let alone a child. Okay? Having said that, another thing about boundary is you have to teach your child how it is done. You can acknowledge your child and say, I know it is so difficult to not watch, to stop what you're doing, because I know you're enjoying it and it looks so much fun. But I'm sorry, the time is over. We have to close it right now. Okay? Simple. Do not get into argument. Do not get into things like, नहीं ये करना है, वो करना है, ऐसे करना है, वैसे करना है, तुमने इतना देख लिया. If you're clear till now, let me know. Then I can go to the next section, which is from 8 to 14, 15, how to deal with them. Give me a thumbs up if you're clear with it. Then I'll go to the next one and then we can start with questions, okay? The problem that I see with boundaries is that people don't know how to follow through. Once I told to one of my clients, वो कह रहा था कि मेरा बच्चा हमेशा फ़ोन पे रहता है, वो फ़ोन बंद नहीं करता है. So I told the client, I said, ठीक है, अगर आपने उसको बोला that they can only watch it till 5:30, from 4:30 to 5:30. I said, what happens at 5:30? So the client said that the father said that the child just starts running away and he doesn't stop it. I said, what do you do? He said, क्या करना है फिर उसके बाद, मैं उसके पीछे पीछे थोड़ी भाग सकता हूँ, अगर मैं उससे ले लेता हूँ तो वो रोने लग जाता है. सो पहले मुझे एक बात बताइए, बच्चों के रोने से इतना क्यों डरना है? दूसरी चीज, द फादर सेड, isn't it rude that I snatched the phone from my child? My answer to that is this. Okay, I am not snatching the phone. I am telling my child very clearly, beta, your TV time is over or your screen time is over. I am going to take it right now. So I'm informing my child in advance. Okay, and you give them an option, either you close it or else I will have you close it, because I know it is difficult for you to close it. Okay, मैंने उसको बता दिया कि ये होने वाला है. Okay, and if you still see that your child is not able to give you the phone or is not able to shut it down, then you go and take the phone from the child. देखो, रोना तो होना ही है, आप नहीं लो या लो, लेकिन अगर आप कुछ नहीं करोगे इसके बारे में, the child will get glued to the fact that I just have to cry a little and my parent will give me something. I just have to cry a little and my parent will get scared. I just have to throw a little tantrum and my parents will do this. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? That's how it is. Never ever get scared of your child's crying. They will cry. My child also cry. The problem is it triggers us so much that either we give them the phone or we start shouting. It's either two ways. You don't have to do both the things. You can just be calm. You can just keep telling yourself, okay, I don't want to get into a power struggle. This is good for him. I'll give you one example. Chalo. Your child says, I want to drink, mama. You say no. But your child goes and get a bottle and say, no, I am going to drink. आप जो मर्जी कर लो. ठीक है? You say nicely to your child, no beta, it's not, you cannot drink. Please give it back to me. And your child doesn't give. And he opens the bottle. What will you do? Will you stand there? What will you do? Will you just stand there and say, nahi bacha, don't do it, and then give him 10 more lectures? Drinking is not good for you. It is harmful. This will happen to you. Or you will tell him that either give it to me or I am going to take the bottle from you. What are you going to do? The first one of just standing there and giving me instructions, or second one, taking in charge and saying, beta, I think you are not understanding, this is not good for you. Aren't you going to go hold the bottle and take it off from him because you know that alcohol is not good for your child? Yes or no? ये alcohol नहीं है, पानी है वैसे. So it's not that I'm snatching anything from my child. It's not that I'm being rude to my child. All I am doing is I am giving my child that option कि beta, either you do it yourself, but I think it is difficult for you to do it, so let me help you do it and take it. Okay. Now coming to the actual question from where this entire conversation started. Okay. So the gentleman actually wrote that my child is 14 years old and he's always on screen, and I'm not in the house. Okay. Now see, I know with these days we all are working, we cannot always be around our child to know what is happening. Okay. But I will still say that as a parent, please be very mindful what your child is watching. Please be very mindful that if your child is on the phone, okay, then you have that duplicate, or you can control their phone from your phone. I hope you do know, as a father, you can decide how many hours of screen time can your child have. There are apps for it, there are controls for it. So please go ahead and see it. You sitting in your office and expecting your child to switch off the TV within 30 minutes of as promised is not a very, जिसे कहते हैं ना कि too much of an expectation, if you ask me. Even we would never do that. I remember our childhood was not phones, but our childhood was TV time. So when TV, mom dad was not there, we would go and watch the TV. मम्मा बोल के जाते थे, बेटा 1 घंटा देख लो फिर पढ़ लेना. Okay mom, पक्का mom. But we also know we would not switch it off. We wanted to see it because it is so addictive. So from a child's point of view, and expecting your child to not do it That is not possible. But your child is 14. What you can do is you can really have a decent conversation with your child again and again and again, and tell them that, beta, I know this is very important. I know you love doing this. I know it is like an addiction. Everybody loves watching TV. I know all that. And I know it is so difficult to switch it off. However, you studying is equally important. You tell me how we can find a way where both can go together. And tell them, I trust you. See, once you have a teenager, no, you have to keep telling them, I trust you, that you are going to make good decisions. So let's make a good decision here, and let's see for a week if we can follow it through. And if your child is able to follow it through, do not forget to appraise and give a positive affirmation, or a positive feedback to them, that I'm so happy that you were able to follow it through. Let's go for ice cream. I'm super proud of you. Okay, so do something like this. At a 14 year For a 14-year-old, you really cannot control them. You can definitely, when you are handing over a device, you can have controls in place and tell them that these are the controls in place, this is what it is, I am going to decide how much time you're going to do. So all that has to happen beforehand. ओके, जहाँ तक टीवी की बात है, आप भी करते थे, हम भी करते थे. इट इज बेटर टू टेक योर चाइल्ड इन टू कॉन्फिडेंस एंड शो देम वॉट इज बेटर फॉर देम. Okay, otherwise you sitting in office cannot do anything with the child. An adult has to be around, especially to know what your child is even watching. My concern here is not that your child is not switching off the TV. My concern is, do you even know what your child is watching? It is so important that जो हम लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता, but there's a lot of content now with OTT coming in that kids have access to, which they should not be having access to, and they're growing up too fast. Okay, now before I start taking questions, I'll go, as I said, boundaries are for 4 plus, where you can discuss about a boundary, and one is like 2-3 years old वाला जो boundaries होता है. 2-3 years old वाला boundaries basically क्या होता है ना, your child is hitting someone, your child is drinking water from a like पानी, पता नहीं लोगों को टॉयलेट के पानी क्यों अच्छा लगता है, मतलब ये जो वॉश बेसिन में जो पानी आता है या नहाने का पानी होता है, दे वांट टू ड्रिंक दैट वाटर ओनली. मतलब अच्छा पानी तो बच्चों को अच्छा ही नहीं लगता, मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है. बट एनीवेज, सो हाउ डू यू सेट बाउंड्रीज देयर? Suppose your child, your 2-year-old, 3-year-old who really cannot talk right now, that child is going and hitting someone. Okay, how do you set a boundary with such a child? Simple. You decide what you are going to do. Your child is too young to do anything. So you hold your child's hand and say, sorry darling, I cannot let you hit that other person, and take your child out. If your child is drinking water from somewhere, the child should not be drinking it. You just hold your child, pick up your child and say, Babu, you cannot drink water from this. I'm sorry, I cannot let you drink water from this. Let's go and splash water here. Give them an alternate. Okay, I have seen so many parents explaining to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old child with full length explanation and everything, thinking they will understand. No, they will not understand. For them, it is more like exploration. See, again, at the end, I will tell you one thing. Boundary is something that you control, that you can do. Okay, boundary is something where you decide what you are going to do. Because if you're going to say कि बाबा TV बंद कर दो, that is you giving power to the other person. But boundary is when I take the power within, I say myself and I say, listen, I think it is becoming difficult for you to switch off the TV, so I'm going to help you and you go and switch off the TV. So boundary doesn't mean कि मैंने limit set कर दिया, मैंने order set कर दिया, मैंने schedule बना लिया, now you follow it. That doesn't happen. Children are not capable for it. Please understand that. हमें actually ऐसा लगता है after the child is 4, 5, 6 years of age that they are mini adults. They are not. In fact, adults are mini children, if you ask me. Adults are children trapped in big bodies. जो हमारे tantrums होते हैं, जो सब कुछ होते हैं, they are still children. Okay? So, boundaries are something that you decide to do. Okay. काफी हो गया बाउंड्रीज के ऊपर. नाउ लेट्स गेट इनटू सम क्वेश्चंस. ओके, सो आई एम जस्ट गोना गो अप एंड स्क्रॉल एंड सी सम questions if I can. Someone had kept on writing again and again that please answer my questions. I'm just trying to. At what age can we start boundaries? As I said, before the age of 3, it is your responsibility. You take your child out. You tell them, I cannot let you hit your brother. I cannot let you hit so many so person. I cannot let you drink this. I cannot let you have scissors because it's not safe for you and I need to keep you safe. Keep talking to your child. They are not understanding it, but they understand your action. They understand your emotions. Okay, and after that start setting boundaries with them, not for everything. Remember, it's a house, it's not a jail. Okay, so start for boundaries with the things that are the most important for you. Okay. uh, okay, you can start sending your questions again because I can't really see much on this comments box. As I said, this is new to me as well. Okay, my boy is 11-year-old and he is losing interest in studies. What do I say? See, I'll tell you what. There is a research that I was reading that we as parents are so focused on two age groups of children. One is before the age of 6 and above, because the entire internet is buzzing about how your how your child's brain is developing, and you should give them more activities to do because brain can neurons form more and all that, which is true. But and then there is the teens, because when there are teens they have big emotions, and everybody's having problem with teenagers because they still don't know what is happening, and there's a lot of rebel. But in between these two time, no, between 7 to 12 is an age that people are just forgetting. Okay, 7 to 12 is an age where a child starts going to school. From a chotu school, a child started going to a big school. From being very confined in house, having their way, suddenly their friends have become more important. What their friends are saying is important. They are struggling within. They are struggling within to understand who they are. And you will see that suddenly if a child is very 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 hyper till 6 7 8 9 10 11, they are little sober. You will see them little detached from you. पहले आप सब उनके लिए करते थे. Now everything is becoming friends 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 friends, mama my friend, mama my friend, mama my friend, है ना, यही होता है ना. ठीक है. See, a child losing interest in studies or losing interest in friends or changing is because something is happening, especially in studies. देखो, पढ़ना ना बहुत कम बच्चों को अच्छा लगता है. लेट्स फर्स्ट एक्सेप्ट इट. आपको कितना अच्छा लगता था पहले आप अपने आप से पूछ लो. ओके, बट पढ़ना पड़ता है. वी ऑल हैव टू स्टडी. देयर इज नो नेगोशिएशन ऑन दैट. यू ऑल हैव टू स्टडी, राइट? However, sometimes when a child is struggling in studies is when they we when sorry when a child is struggling in studies is when they start losing interest. And it's not only in studies. Maybe you're noticing it's only in studies, but that's not true, huh? If a child is losing interest in studies, maybe a lot of other things are also happening. Maybe usko samajh mein nahi aa raha. Maybe there's a peer group. Maybe he's getting more interested because see, as they're getting into teenage and social media and so many distractions are there, their mind is everywhere. The studies is the last thing they want to do. So ask yourself, what is happening in my child's life? चल क्या रहा है उसकी जिंदगी में? मेरे 12 साल के लड़के की जिंदगी में क्या क्या चल रहा है? उसके कौन फ्रेंड्स है? स्कूल में क्या चल रहा है? वो कौन से सब्जेक्ट में स्ट्रगल कर रहा है? वो कौन से सब्जेक्ट में अच्छा है? उसके फ्रेंड्स उसको क्या बोल रहे हैं? वो सोशल मीडिया पे क्या देख रहा है? You need to know what is happening in your child's life before you come into a conclusion and say कि he is not studying. Okay, because study is the only thing that very easily as a parent I can see. Because वो होमवर्क नहीं कर रहा, स्कूल से कुछ पता चल गया, या उसने 2 घंटे अपने बैठा नहीं वो पढ़ने के लिए, he's always playing or he's always on phone. So we say he's not interested in studying. I am also studying these days, and trust me, it has got me back into the memories of the fact which I shared in my last live as well. जो सब्जेक्ट हमें आते हैं वो हमें बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं पढ़ने, बट जो सब्जेक्ट हमें समझ ही नहीं आता ना, वी विल नॉट लाइक टू इवन ओपन द बुक फॉर इट. एंड इट इज वेरी वेरी ट्रू फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ अस. I just made a reel yesterday about the different types, the different various types that a child learns. Okay, do you know there are different types that a child learns? Like some children learn very nicely visually. Some children learn very nicely auditorily. Some children learn very nicely kinesthetically. I'll give you an example. Rest you can watch when the reel comes out or when the YouTube video comes out. For example, me as a child or me till date, I can learn things by looking. When somebody is talking to me, like teacher lecture देता था ना, I would blank out. पहले 2-3 वर्ड के बाद तो I would blank out. किस किस के साथ ऐसा होता है? That when you used to sit in the class और teacher lecture दे रहा है, after some time you will go into your own dreamland. किसी के साथ ऐसा होता था? I'll tell you why that happens. किसके साथ ऐसा होता था कि अगर टीचर लेक्चर दे रहा है एंड यू आर थोड़ा समझ में आया बट आफ्टर लाइक 2-3 मिनट्स यू फाइंड योर सेल्फ ड्रीमिंग. नाउ ऐसा पता क्यों होता है? बिकॉज सच पीपल डू नॉट हैव वेरी गुड ऑडिटरी स्किल्स. We are more visual people or you can be a more kinesthetic person. Visual people means I'll talk about myself. विजुअल पीपल इज तुम मुझे ना वही चीज दिखा दो फोटो में या फिर एज लाइक अ ड्राइंग में, पिक्चर्स में, चार्ट्स में, सब में. आई विल रिमेंबर इट लाइक दिस. आई विल लुक एट इट, आई विल मेक लॉजिक आउट ऑफ इट एंड आई विल पुट इट इन माई माइंड. बट अगर तुम मेरे से बोली जा रहे हो बोली जा रहे हो बोली जा रहे हो, मेरे को समझिंग में भूल जाती थी. मतलब रजिस्टर ही नहीं होता था. भूलने के लिए तो रजिस्टर होना चाहिए ना. मेरे को रजिस्टर ही नहीं होता था. ओके. And I would always think to myself when I was a child, यार ये मेरे में कुछ गड़बड़ है. Why do I doze off? मतलब सब लोग ऐसे क्लास में सुन रहे हैं. Why? Because nobody ever told me that my way of learning is not auditory. मेरे को मैं अपनी दुनिया में चली जाती हूँ. My auditory skills are not that high. My way of learning is visual. Everything is very visual. That's why for me things have to be very visually appealing. That's why I like doing creative work. क्योंकि that is what really मेरे ना ब्रेन में बल्ब ऑन हो जाता है when I see visually. And I am so sad that I figured it out so late in life. That's why yesterday I sat down and made a reel about it, because I want you guys to know and understand and start seeing what is your child's preferential way of learning so that you can help your child. Okay. अगर मैं अभी मैं पढ़ रही हूँ ना, I learn by like I have my notes. But then I go on YouTube and on the same experiment, I will see something that someone has drawn or done a whole presentation about. And then it registers in my mind. Padke, it doesn't register in my mind. So we all are very different kind of a learners. As a parent, try to understand how your child learns. Not all children learn in the same way. Okay? Not all children learn in the same way. Our problem is कि हमारे पास ना टाइम ही नहीं आजकल टू इवन गेट लिटिल बिट इनटू दिस. हम बच्चों को डाल देते स्कूल में एंड देन हम स्कूल को बोलते तुम्हारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, तुम पढ़ाओ भाई साहब. स्कूल कहते हैं सारी मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है. एंड दैट्स ट्रू ऑल्सो. You know, so if your child is not studying, if your child is not interested in something, I always say try to understand what is happening in their life. Is there just one subject that they are not interested in? Especially as you said, your boy is 12 years old. What other things are happening in the what other things are happening in their life, because they're getting into teens? What are they watching? Who are they talking to? What kind of friends they have? Ritu says, but ma'am, school teaches in one way only. I agree. But why do you have to be so dependent on teachers for everything? Why as a mother you cannot step in and once in a week, just ask your child, what are you struggling with? Your child may not be struggling with everything. Maybe a topic, maybe something. Aajkal itna material is available. I just realized it again because I have got into studying again. You just have to type and things come. Leave that. Go to ChatGPT. Put all the notes, upload all the notes and tell them, give this to me in pointers or give this to me as a story. My goodness, the way ChatGPT replies, it is like, I was reading it for one of my theories of personality. We had a subject. For that, I was reading it and I was like, why can't teachers teach like this? This is so fun. Children will love it. So as I said, Ritu, don't put everything on the teacher. Take something on yourself as well. Okay, take something as also as a parent. Okay, if you want your child to be interested in studies, if you're okay with the way things are going, let it go. There's nothing wrong or right, but then don't crib about it. Okay, there's no wrong, there's no right in parenting, but if you think your child needs to do a certain thing, you have to put an effort and not put that entire effort on your child. भाई तूने करना है, तू देख ले तूने कैसे करना है. That doesn't happen. You have to give that assisted independence to your child. You have to give that assisted support to your child. Okay, it's already 12:40 and I'll take one more question today. I am sorry we got late because of this thing, but I'm so happy the Facebook family is also here. And I can see Ritu from Facebook, so I at least know one person has joined. Okay, so I am going to take this thing. Ma'am, my girl always complains about everything that she is troubling me. The girl is teasing me. What to do? मम्मा वो गर्ल के साथ खेल नहीं रही है. मम्मा शी सेड दिस टू मी. मम्मा दे आर डूइंग दिस टू मी. ये तो होगा. देखो, let's be very honest as to as your child gets into school after 7th. Okay, उससे पहले it's little less, but after that, okay. And Vishali just wrote she's 7 now. Exactly. They go into big schools. They start forming groups. They start having their opinions. They start understanding their individuality. As I said, the most forgotten years that parents don't focus on is between the age of 7 to 12. You know what happens in the age of 7 to 12? You want to know? You want to know what happens in the age of 7 to 12? 7 to 12 is the age when children actually start forming opinions about themselves. They become so conscious about what someone else is saying, what my friend is saying, who is doing better than me, am I in that power? So their confidence, their self-esteem, their opinion about themselves starts getting built between the age of 7 to 12. Okay, between the age of 7 to 12. This is such an important age that you start teaching your child about who they are. Okay, because who they are. Okay, now I'll tell you something. Abhi to one girl is not playing with your child. What will happen if tomorrow they say, you're not in our group? You cannot go and fight for your child, right? You have to teach your child skills to overcome it. Okay, you can just go and tell your child that, bacha, listen, this is going to happen. Someone may like to play with you, someone may not like to play with you, and I know it hurts. Most importantly, you have to acknowledge the fact that it hurts, that it is not a good feeling when this happens, that you feel left out, and I understand that. And then if your child is 7 years old, I want you to first let your child think what she can do. So instead of going and saying, no, don't play with him, it's okay, you play with someone else. ये generally हमारा सबसे पहला reaction होता है. ठीक है, I know कि चलो कोई बात नहीं, तुम किसी और के साथ खेल लो. See, when you do this, you're not validating your child's feeling. Your child is feeling hurt that she is not playing with me. Your child is feeling hurt that she is not talking with me. So please first acknowledge your child's emotion. Okay, and tell them, yes, I know it really hurts bachcha, है ना, ऐसा तो it's like, I know it's so difficult. What do you think? क्या कर सकते हैं हम? Or did something happen between both of you that you know of? No mama, nothing happened, मैंने तो उसको कुछ बोला भी नहीं. Then I wonder why she's doing that. Okay, now why I'm saying all this is, if at the age of 7 and 8 you start giving solutions to your child कि तू किसी और के साथ खेल ले, तू बुरा मत मान, ये तो चलता ही रहता है, वो है ही ऐसी, what you're doing is you're not letting your child feel the frustration and the disappointment, because disappointment तो पूरी जिंदगी होगा. आज तो एक लड़की नहीं खेली है, 12th तक मतलब by the time they reach 10, 11, 12, there's going to be groupism. Then they go into teens. There's going to be other mean girls, mean boys, things. So they have to start understanding the frustration and the disappointment, and they have to learn to find the way to navigate it, knowing you're there. Okay, knowing that you're there. So just stay there with them. Ask them, what can I do about it? How can I help you? Okay, there is no right and wrong question to it. Sorry, there is no right and wrong answer to it. You just being there is all they need. You just saying, I know it is tough. You just being there, that I know that it is a difficult phase, or you can share your own story. What you did is what needs to be done. As a mother, I know it is so painful to see your child in pain that we want to go and fix everything for them. What are you teaching your child if you're going to go and fix everything for them? Nothing. They will keep coming back to you for all every time fixing everything. ऐसे थोड़ी चलेगा. थोड़ी भी प्रॉब्लम होगी, मम्मा ये नहीं हो रहा, मम्मा ये ऐसे कर लो, मम्मा उसने मुझे ऐसे बोल दिया. You please start sitting with them, let them feel the feelings, and let them know that you're there. मैम दैट टाइम शी सेड आई एम किसके साथ खेलूं, मेरा कोई दोस्त नहीं है. सो देन यू कुड हैव जस्ट सेड दैट आपको ऐसा क्यों लगता है. ओके, और यू कैन रिफ्लेक्ट इट बैक टू हर एंड से, अच्छा आपने किस किस से पूछा. डू यू थिंक यू कैन मेक मोर एफर्ट in making friends, more friends. Teach them about friendship, that it's not only one way that they have to play with you, you also have to play with them, you also have to be kind to them. These are very, very, very small problems when it comes to parenting. These are our problems because we feel bad that our child is going through something like that and our child is hurt. When your child is hurt, the most important thing they need is you at that time, nothing else. You just hearing them, not solving their problems. Okay. Now, before I end this live on Facebook, there's a guy, someone, Adnan wrote, child needs assistance in studies every time, and he wouldn't do it himself because he knows mom will help me in it. Why will mom help you in it? Me assisting my child. I think you wrote it when I said that you find a way to help your child get better at something. See, I'll tell you something. I never encourage parents doing homework for the children. It's of no use. Please don't do it. Your child is not learning anything. Okay. But if my child is struggling, yes, please assist them. Don't leave them hanging कि उनको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा करना क्या है. Okay, that is so much required. Assistance is required, but doing things for them is definitely not required and not done. You're not helping your child in any way. And someone is saying, please save this live. All my lives get saved. You can find all of them on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram as well. Okay, so till next Thursday, bye. From next Thursday, I'll start logging in 15 minutes prior only so that we log in on time. And I hope you found this session helpful. Just letting you know, my 10 minutes, 10 days connection challenge is live. I'll put it on stories again in case any one of you is interested. Please go and check it out there. And I'll see you next Thursday at 11:30 again. Okay, and I hope I was able to provide you with some assistance, and thank you so much for spending this last 1 hour with me. Bye. Now I have to figure out how to shut this also. Honestly, first time I'm doing it, so I have to find ways as to on तो कर लिया, off भी कैसे करना है वो भी ढूंढना पड़ेगा अभी. Oh, Sruchi, I missed coming on live as well. Honestly, अरे मैंने एक महीना लाइव नहीं करा ना. I was like, ये क्या हो रहा है? There's something I'm missing. No, I miss it. चलो, okay, bye guys. Okay, I found the finish button. Bye. Thank you so much. It will be there on my YouTube as well and on my Instagram as well. And by tomorrow morning.